How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Ooh, Lana getting put in her place right off the bat. Gonna need some aloe for that burn. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be there with you the whole time. Whole time, same thing. Shut up, Emma. Get out of here.
The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. Why are we flashing back to this again? Yes, we know he did it. I haven't been in court since Edgeworth's trial. It's been a while now. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I'll choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment meant to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she is rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's so much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for rashness with a life. I was a witness to a crime, a professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cuff-up queen.
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? But it's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What do you think this pickled tapioca tastes like? Name, profession, now. Me? Name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Hurry it up!
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. Or a homicidal detective, I'm sorry. I can't read today. What? Miss Starr was a detective?
I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for the visitors and clients. A chain divider separates within the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of the A block, on the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with a knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright.
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? I don't want to be crushed by all this lunch. A mountain of lunch. Crushes. Phoenix Wright. The only way out is for him to eat it. All of it. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was finally honed, detective instincts working. Then, through a wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointing tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend, how touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Don't do that. God damn it.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may now cross-examine the witness.
Alrighty then. Miss Starr, I'm going to eat all of the lunchboxes you have, right in front of your face. But first I'm going to press on you. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against the prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr.
Really now? Are you sure? By garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her.
If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always complain.
Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than morons. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
I'll have you know, I cross-examined a bird and got a man found guilty because of it. Thank you very much. Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
That photograph. You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. This is my first time seeing this photo.
You think I'd show it to you? A prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Wait, what? Yes? That's a thing? Oh, well, it makes sense. Whatever, shut up.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Sky.
So what was the defendant doing at the time? And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with a knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. Let's be a little more careful with our evidence, shall we? It is you who needs to be more careful, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Objection! How can you tell that?
Blood splatter. See the dark crimson stain on the chief prosecutor's coat? It's a black and white photograph.
Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Kind of. It's kind of my thing.
Objection!
Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? She was going to give birth to a cow in the middle of the parking lot. Shut up, Edgeworth. Get out of the get out of the picture's way, man. I'm trying to see the gloves. You're a jerk, Edgeworth. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait just one cotton-picking minute. Edgeworth's knife. I'll throw that into your face. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case?
The bloody murder weapon and red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there.
The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are those prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? No. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Order.
Great, now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
No, Edgeworth, don't do it. Shut up. No, I don't want to hear your voice. Stop it. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If she wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Good God. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Yes, Emma. Everyone knows this.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Don't give me the stink eye. Come on. Jeez. God. Right. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. But guess what? I have something that might contradict your stuff. Death due to a loss of blood. One knife wound. Objection! Come on. Show me your moves. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Mr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Ah, you're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk, he's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Testify, lady. We're in a church now. Red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Oh no. But, let's take a look at the crime photo. I don't really see much, what are you talking about? Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. Edgeworth, I wasn't done talking. Stop being such a jerk today, man. You're really bringing me down. The witness is clearly not sued for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself, with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. Something red on it, really, honestly. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Now back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Aw, pouty. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten, you plebeian. No thanks. Note to self, Attorney Wright gets bitten by a snake. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examine, if you will.
She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word.
So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, Chief Prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone? You mean this cell phone? Let's ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately.
My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see Miss Starr.
The Chief Prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing.
Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
She gave up.
Did she give up?
Did she? Wait, what? No! This is the first mess up I've ever had. Whenever you mess up, you get an exclamation point taken off. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does?
I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really? Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies.
Wow. I think I got ahead of myself for that one. Gosh darn it. Now I have 4 exclamation points.
The Chief Prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Oh man. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the Chief Prosecutor hung up from her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
No? Still no? Well, shoot. So where's this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details? I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchline car was. She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How come this guy didn't get away? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. And all I heard her say was the word muffler. Right, this was, yeah, phone. Give up trying to use the phone on the wall and just used your cell phone. No? Jesus, what the hell, man? She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed beside my hand and ran. Terrible sight to see, like a dump of lard on a plate of foie gras. Ah. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum?
There was an old drum lying on the side of the scene of the crime.
That's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other... Ah.
Car entrance!
That's right. That doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent, more mysteries. I wish I could solve a few before finding more, though. So this guy tried to run. Okay, whatever. I just gotta keep pressing, and then I can put the thing on the thing. Good God. This is why sometimes this game can be finicky to a lot of people. They know the right answer, but it doesn't want to give them the right answer because of the game. Still a good game, though. I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Ms. Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by my personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out for 2 years ago. Kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition.
If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Order, order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told to the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Witness lied about where she saw it. Of course. She tried to use an emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this? Wait. Pretty sure I messed up before a long time ago. Yeah, shut up, my mind just went to the past for a second. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would be pointless for her to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
The witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. In other words, Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard up until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. She was in the security room. I bet. This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room.
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built in on the second level, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. Why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order, order, order. Witness, what have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from a security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The distance to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright. With one look at the floor plans, it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now how long did it take you to go from there? The scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky.
Well, witness.
You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry from boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from Glasswell Station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
No. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Of course I do. I'm Phoenix Wright. I always have to object to everything. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make a pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got a lunchbox. Is that Thai pasta and knots, rookie? A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Well then, it seems to come to the end of this testimony. She has a grudge against the defendant. There is a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. Oh, that was too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
No, hold it. No, hold it. Court is adjourned. That's what the banging of the gavel means, Angel. What are you doing? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take over the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
A triple-decker! Yes! Finally, I'm going to eat tonight! Ah! No more living in squalor. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What you going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at this crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other was the defendant Miss Lana Sky's blood. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe.
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Objection!
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Oh my god. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You should know the 2 rules of evidence law, Miss Starr. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, as I mentioned previously. This shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. Well, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may now cross-examine the witness.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Yes, you should have. Let's press on this. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? How did you know that was that's my favorite meal? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? Problem? This is critical. What's wrong with the victim's shoe? There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe?
Oh no, I only have 2 exclamation marks. I can't mess up now.
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of this shoe? Crime photo. Right? Right! The problem lies in the footprint. A footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. In fact, she's not even wearing the shoes that you're presenting as evidence right now. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. If there were bloody footprints, they would have been found. We checked the scene, and we found nothing of the sort.
Order, order, order. No witness.
What? Right going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's no vital hint of truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about the upper hand in the witness suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's a beautiful but deadly predator, this one, a leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum was empty. Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though, apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness! Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him?
So my sister's...
Blood on the shoe, that's when it happened?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. Enough. There is no need for further debate. Verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye.
Little girl, what did you just say? Not me. Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
You've reached your verdict, Your Honor. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. I did this just in case anyone had the gall to suggest the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photograph. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right. When or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end.
This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it would be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over, until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah? I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem, right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright.
I'm pretty sure it's like right here.
Take that!
The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Rana? You just said muffler.
however, I see no trace of a kind of muffler, scarf, or of any kind in this photograph.
Muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see. What's that suspicious-looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to this case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Muffler.
Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of a cloth is vital evidence. Good job, Miss Starr.
Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend. I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed.
I suppose so. That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
The court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry?